do you get people, because I mean, no Indian, I hope, is foolish enough, or I'd say stupid enough in the sense of the word courageous and an extrapolation of courageous, to demand or to think of like an Akhand Bharat, which I don't know if you've heard, it gets floated around quite often now in the news. Is there some people who are nostalgic enough for pre-partition India that sort of, escaped back then or even after during the riots or something like that?
I think at this stage it's more seen as like, that would be ideal, but we're never going to get that.
Of course, right.
Like, and it's interesting because one of the biggest inspirations for me, like, well before like starting this project, but like, getting me thinking about these ideas was this book by Anna Funder called Stasiland, where she talks about like the nostalgia of East Germans, especially people involved with the Stasi after the fall of the Berlin Wall,
Right.
and how that like there was nostalgia for people like, we want it to be East Germany again, and there was like, the idea of the way nostalgia plays out in
Right.
like politically, like situations of political conflict, and I see the same situation repeating here. You have the people who are like, you know what, like Pakistan should not exist, and these guys are actually just Indians who have been forcibly converted to Islam. And also like on the other side, like you've been to Pakistan, there's this like total denial of like Hindu origin, Hindu identity there.
As in, so I'm always amazed by throughout Pakistan how some of my very well educated friends will not know the difference between like Christian or Shiva, and it's taken kind of 2 generations for that to just lapse. And that they do very much register their Buddhist origins, notably, but because of partition, they are very keen to kind of and at the moment when I was last there, they were. It's sort of changed in the last 5 years that they've gone from sort of not really understanding who or what Sikhs were, and they kind of had this idea that they did used to live here, but the younger generation really had never interacted with any, to suddenly being incredibly proud of their Sikh community because of this whole Kartarpur thing.
Right.
And there's been a shift I've noticed in 5 years of that. But if we can see that with and it's somewhat like fetishized version, but it's a positive step nonetheless.
Right.